So we're going to draw a multi-view drawing of this block here, and we're going to do that in a specific way and make sure that all of them are lined up so that we can keep them straight when we're on paper and then also when we go back onto AutoCAD. So the first thing that we're going to draw is the front view. The front view is looking at the shape from this angle, and so what we'll see, the faces that we'll see, will be this L, and that's about it. So I'm going to pick location pretty close to the edge down here. And then I'm going to draw that L shape, and I'm going to use the dimensions in order to draw it. So first I want to draw a line to the right, and so I have to look at the shape. I started in this corner, and so I'm going to use this dimension of 8 to draw that line. Then I'm going to go up from our starting point, which will be this line on the drawing, which is 6. This one I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then connect those two lines. Now I need to go over to the right or up from the bottom, and so I'm going to start with this bottom part right here, which is described by the dimension way over on the side of 2. And now that I'm at this spot, I need to go back to this crease. And so this crease can be described by the dimension of 6 in the back there. And then I'm going to go straight up and meet the top and then connect it. So this is the front view. Now I want to make sure that both other views are aligned with this one. So I'm going to draw the top view next, and then the side view last. The top view is going to be directly above, and it shares the width of the shape. And so I'm going to just show you with a different color how the left and right side of this view are lined up with the left and right side of the top view as well. So if we're looking at the top view, we would see these faces and this curved face. We'd also see this big, like, upside down U shape that we'd be able to see from the top. So I'm going to start. It doesn't matter how far away I go from my original shape. So I picked 2 blocks here, 1, 2, but you could go further if you have more room on your graph paper, that's fine. This 8 is the same width as the total shape. And so now I want to go from this bottom corner all the way to the top corner, which will be 2, 1, and 2 for a total of 5. So from here, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just going to continue this rectangle all the way around. Now I can look at some of the details on this bottom, on this front view. Like this corner is going to be visible directly in line. And so I'm going to draw this line here, which really is this edge all the way along the front of that shape. I now have to draw this cutout in the center, which is long. And to do that, I'm going to use this 2 because it's 2 from this corner here. And then it goes in 5. So usually we use pencils for this unit, but being able to erase digitally will be very helpful. The last thing I need to do is make sure that there's a distinction between the 2 rectangles on the top and then this curved area. And so what I need to do is go in 1 on each side to separate those rectangles. and now I've got the top view done. So then the last thing that we have to do is the side view. The side view will be this kind of U shape up here. These two front squares, and then also we'll be able to see this rectangle right here that's kind of down that cutout. And so again, I'm going to project the bottom and the top of the shape because the height of our front view is going to line up with the height of our side view. And now 2 blocks away, I'm going to go connect these two red lines. What I just did is I drew from this bottom corner up this edge and then continued up that edge as well. Now I'll go across the bottom here and across the top here. And both of those are 5. And then I'll connect this rectangle back. And now we have to, that's the full shape of the front, but now we need to start seeing like what kind of details can we see, what kind of regions. And so one of the regions are these distinct rectangles or squares. They are squares. So I have to go 2 up and 2 over. I'm also going to connect this in the middle here because that actually is this line here at the back of the chute. So these two spots are close to us, and then this spot is pretty far away from us. But when we're looking straight on, we cannot tell the difference. Next, we're going to draw the top piece. We have to go in 1 on each side. So from here and here, and then we can see that this, the diameter of the circle, because the circle is going to take up this space here, the diameter is 3, which means that the radius from the center to the side is 1.5. So from the middle of the circle, I'm going to go 1.5 down, and I'm going to do my best to draw a circle that goes through those points. And so we have our side view drawn. So now the next thing we have to do after we get all 3 views drawn is we have to make sure that we show any hidden lines. Hidden lines are when a detail can't be seen because it's covered by a face. And so the details that are usually hidden are cutouts. So we have 2 cutouts in this shape. We have the cutout, we have the cutout on the top and then the cutout in the bottom. We can see the cutout, we can actually see both cutouts on the top view, but and the side view. On the front view, it looks like just an L here, and we can't see where that cutout is unless we show it with hidden lines. So this corner isn't shown on the front view unless we project it down and then draw a hidden line here, which is dashed. The same is true about the bottom of our circle. We can't see that at all on the front view, and so I'm going to project this line over and then dash it to show that there's actually a missing chunk of the block there that just isn't shown right now. And after we've shown our hidden lines, then we also need to show our center lines. Center lines are for any curved objects that you can't tell are curved. So over here we have a curve that's visible. So actually this shape, or this view, doesn't need a center line because we can already tell that that's circular. But that same shape is shown up here, and we can't tell if it's a rectangle or a circle unless we use these center lines. You'll tell that the center lines aren't dashed, they're dot dashed, and you draw them a little bit longer than their boundaries. The same is going to be true at the top of our front view. And you can see I changed color just because I'm going to have 2 lines that are overlapping with each other. One convention that we will use, especially when we get back to AutoCAD, is hidden lines are drawn in green. And so I can come back and do that too. And then center lines are drawn in magenta or purple. And that's how you draw a multi-view drawing. It's very important. Remember that these are aligned with each other. that they're not askew or rotated incorrectly.